Namaste and good evening to one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect 360's episode LC0140. Leaders Connect 360 is a CSR initiative by Bija Training and organized by the Mask Leadership. My name is Janani and I am pursuing my BCom Honors degree at SRM. Leaders Connect 360 is started with a specific objective of inviting 1,000 plus leaders and create a million leaders. It is an online hub where every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we learn from top management leaders on Zoom Live. And once in a quarter, in each city, we have an offline networking meet to network, support, and grow with the leaders. That's when we call it Leaders Create More Leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will be giving you an opportunity to speak to our guest, Mr. Hafiz Khan, forest creator, climate healer, and social impact leader. Before you are unmuted, let me share that we are currently live on LinkedIn, and this episode LC0140 is being recorded. First time visitors may click on the WhatsApp, FB, and LinkedIn link on the chat box to get updated by joining us in creating more leaders. All in the house are requested to turn on your videos, which will help in making the episode highly interactive. So, are we all ready to interact with our guest, Mr. Hafiz Khan, forest creator, climate healer, and social impact leader, and panel discussion leader, Ms. Divya, corporate trainer and coach? And share a thumbs up or smiley emoji in the chat box. Thank you. Before the introduction of the guest, let me also introduce Mr. Pankaj, Managing Partner, Bija Training, will interact with our guest along with the panel discussion leader, Ms. Divya. I shall welcome you all. Over to you, Mr. Pankaj.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all, and welcome, Hafiz sir. Happy to see you. It's been long, and I really welcome you to this forum. Okay, and I'm happy that the topic which today we are having going to have is altogether different. It's a different perspective. We have been listening about leadership, skills, leadership expertise from the people, but here today we are going to learn the leadership from the trees. Okay, and that's a different perspective. And I was really looking forward, to hear you out when I spoke to you last, almost a couple of years back, right, sir? So I believe for sure we all are going to gain a new perspective of learning today. Okay, and for that, before we move forward, I would like to have a formal and official welcome video for our guest. So, Arul, if you can play the formal and official video for welcome our guest, Mr. Hafiz. Welcome, Mr. Hafiz.
Thank you.
So we welcome you, Hafiz sir, to this
Thank you so
forum.
much, Pankaj. Yeah. Happy to connect with all of you people over here. And I'm glad I'm being part of this forum today to share the metaphors of trees as leaders. Yeah. Looking
Great.
forward.
So I believe Ms. Divya is going to be the panel discussion leader and she will be speaking to you and take things forward. But before that, I would also like to share that how it's going to be. So after having an interaction with you, we will have a small quiz so that we will see that what people are taking away from here. Okay. So we'll check in the form of a quiz and then we'll have the summary of the session, which will be done by our summary leader, Mr. Senthil Kumar, and then there will be a vote of thanks, which will be done by Mr. Nelly. So now, before getting into the panel discussion, I believe there is a special video, right? That's a forest creation. So
Okay.
I would like Arul to play that special video and help us understand this different perspective of forest and trees by Mr. Hafiz. So over to Arul, if you can play that video, excellent.
Dare tu, dare tu re soha. Dare tu re soha. Dare tu re soha.
Thank you so much, Arul. So, sir, before handing it over to Ms. Divya for panel discussion, I would like you to share about this particular video, what it is all about, how did it happen, and what inspired you to do that. So, please share a couple of things in this video.
Okay. Before am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, very much.
Before getting onto this video, just to give a precursor to the whole project itself, the planet has been there for the last 4.6 billion years. B for big, B for bija, right? So, for easier understanding, if you make into years and hours, the planet has been existing for the last 46 years. Okay, man has been existing only for the last 4 hours. The industrial revolution started only 1 minute ago. In that 1 minute, we have cut off, chopped off, removed off more than 50% of the green cover across the globe, across the earth. Okay. In India, the green cover is less than 25%. In Tamil Nadu, it is less than 20%. And in Greater Chennai Corporation, where we are having the meeting today, is less than 6%. So, uh, when I studied, in school, I studied the fact that, in the number of planets, there was a planet called Pluto, right? Now, suddenly we come to know there is no such planet called Pluto. Pluto was just some kind of a star. And it's like, oh my God, what happened and how did it go off? And if you look at the commercials, advertisements, earlier the Colgate used to say, you have to go white and go with the toothpaste. Now he says, go black. No, it's so complicated and so confusing, right? So when people and man is changing with his new age learnings or understandings or re, re, you know relooking at what he said and completely taking back his words. I think only strong things which has been existing for years together, millions of years together, has been nature. And that's where today what we are going to be sharing some concepts and thoughts about, which has been there for existence and it has not changed with time. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you so much. So I believe Divya is there. So Divya, welcome. And now I hand it over to you for the panel discussion with our guest, Mr. Hafiz. So over to you, Divya.
Thank you very much, Pankaj. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate the patience. Thanks for waiting. I was just on the way. I was trying to connect on the internet, and there were so many issues. Thank you very much, Mr. Hafiz Khan, for joining us today and waiting. And lovely seeing you all. Warm welcome to everybody. So I think we need to start doing the panel discussion questions before any further ado. So I'm going to put it across straight to you as a first question. So a very interesting topic when it comes to trees and leaders because I am a partial gardener. I have a small balcony garden in my house, and all I know is that I need to know how to treat the pot plants, not forest sort of a plant. So I'm going to ask you this typical question everybody asks: how can the leaders emulate the principle of balance and interconnection seen in the trees or in the forest regions, which you are very familiar about?
Okay. So strong and so deep questions. Well, first of all, we should know that like the way each one of our very unique and very precious. Similarly, with our own fingerprints, no two people alike. Similarly, trees are also the same. No trees are alike. Their branches are different. The flowers are different. The leaves are different. Okay. Now, uh, there are quite a few metaphors which we can pull about. I'm just going to be sharing a few of them. One is, suppose say a tree is cut off. Okay, it doesn't stop growing. It starts from the side. Sometimes it could be one, sometimes it could be many. Probably, what it is telling us is not to give up in life. We may be chopped off or cut off or broken, but not to give up at all. Second is, a tree is growing, and then if some construction is done in the top, it doesn't stop growing. So it flexes and bends down and move towards it. So probably as we are growing up, if we have to become great leaders, if we are aspiring to be, going up, we have to be adaptable, we have to be flexible, and we have to gently and gracefully move upside. So third is, apart from the desert leaves and the desert shrubs and the trees, uh, majority of them are not sharp and pointing. If you look at the leaves, they're like humble and modest and bending. So probably they're telling us, to be gentle, to be modest, and to be humble, not to be flamboyant and flashy as we are growing up. So when you throw a stone, it gives us fruits. Okay, when you smoke and put on the stubble on the trees, it gives us fragrance from the flowers. So imagine how strong, how beautiful it is, right? So in the early stages, when we are in the 20s and 30s, we are striving and running fast, doing that. So similarly, in the early stages of the tree growing up, it is branching up in the top, it finding its spaces, it's exploring between the branches and moving up and down, and then trying to reach its full potential, right? And once it has attained a certain stage and it starts reaping the fruits, it bends down and start to give people. So probably the metaphor over here is that, as we have learned in a couple of years as leaders, whatever we have learned, whatever we have understood, the information we have, the knowledge we have, are we giving away to people? Are we giving away to team members? Or are we just hoarding for ourselves and keeping for ourselves? Or, but yeah, there are quite a few leaders which we see this year and there and that as well, right? So one more thing is, the leaves on the trees are very beautiful, right? But then with time, the leaves have to drop. If the tree says, no, I'm not going to drop you, I'm going to hold you back, then it may not be able to see the next phase of it, of the transformation itself. So most of us probably are also holding back to our designations, holding back to our projects which has been given to us, which has been dear to us, and which we have built up so many days, or the departments or the teammates. We don't want to share our teammates and all this. So I think so as leaves, like the way the leaves are dropping and living, we have to be ready for transformation, and we are ready to let go so that we see a new beauty in ourselves, and better foliage, and a new ideas and new thoughts and new possibilities and new opportunities itself. So the next one, which we metaphor, is also about the canopy. So as the tree is becoming stronger, the canopy is becoming larger, right? So it's giving space to the birds and the butterflies and people to stay, and gives a protective space in harsh weather, whether it's rain or the sunlight. So similarly, we as leaders want to become stronger. So are we giving a safe space for our teammates to come and confess to us, to come and share the things which they would not do with their peers, anyone? So are we give them the comfort? Are we being so considerate towards them? So this is about that. And the best part of it all, the thing is, they are not in a hurry, right? So at this space, we are like, we want to do this, we don't have patience, we don't have the time, and whatever, we just dumping this, that. So they are in their own pace, they're so calm, they're so of course, I'm also trying to learn lot many things, as every time I go to the forest where we have planted trees, it's a magical situation for me, magical times for me. So I'm also learning from the trees and trying to inculcate these habits to me as well, especially about being calm and being patient and being harmony, and then handling the situation, well. Um, so imagine if we also have to have all these qualities. Someone shouts at you, which is calm. Someone is saying something, which is being polite and not reacting, and we being humble and modest as we are growing, not taking our designations and the roles too seriously. So if we have to, if we can emulate these qualities, I think so we'll be super beautiful and super wonderful leaders.
So let me be very open here. The way you say something about trees and leaves and is more like you more of a passionate person towards forest trees, and it doesn't matter what you are comparing or using a metaphor. You're just enjoying when you're talking about leaves and trees, and that's how you showcase yourself. More than you telling me the answer, I like the vibe you putting on here and saying that it's not only the trees. We just take small things for granted in our life. One of it is trees and oxygen and sort of things. I remember my mother used to tell me, in fact, I tell my kids also, when we talk about kindness and all, like the best thing we can give as an example is tree. Whatever you do, they give only the good back to us, not one thing bad to us. So you always have to be kind, is what we keep saying. So I can see that kindness and gentleness while you talk. The more you associate with the plants and the trees, I think it comes to you, it manifests on you, I believe. So continuing that factor, we all are fascinated about one thing when we talk about trees or plants. We normally know the roots are very firm, the foundation is very strong. Like you cut down top layer of it, doesn't matter, but when the roots go, it's gone completely. So we all know how fascinating earth is and mother nature is to keep the roots strong, and how the plants are very strong when it comes to the roots. So in that way, how do we establish in the leadership concept about the foundation, the strong concrete foundation, using our own experience and using our own ideologies and philosophies? How do you say that when it comes to leadership aspect?
All right, okay. So first of all, the beginning of a tree is from the seed, right? A
Yes.
small little, it could be as minuscule as 1 millimeter or as, larger seeds as well. So, uh, the seed has to be broken and become vulnerable to understand its potential and start growing. Okay, so I think so as we leaders also should be open to that, vulnerability, and ready for growth and ready to transform. Okay, so having said this, I would just like ask Arul to show a general hierarchy of an organization so that we can relate with the roots. Arul, can you just share the image? So this is the way a general hierarchy of an any organization looks. Either it could be IT or automobile or whatever. So I think so. That is the management at the top, the CEOs, and then the vice president, the directors, and below them the general managers, and below
Yes, and
them
senior
the
managers.
senior managers, and then the managers, and then the front level people at the base level, all these, right? So when we I think so when we relate with the trees, or connect with them, the whole thing changes. I think the whole role of the leader itself would change. So the leader would not be at the top, the leader would be the root, and he's at the bottom. So Arul, can you just share that image? It's just a reverse of that.
I see what you're saying. It's more of upside down of what the form is right now.
Okay, so here the same image, but just put in the tree format with the tree as a leader. So we have all those people. So in this particular case, in the earlier case, there the leaders just drown the information or drain the information from the top bottom. They're just saying, and others have to listen and get it done. But here at the bottom, comes across as a supporter, an enabler, a facilitator, and a catalyst for everyone's growth, right? So here the leader, what he does is he observes all the minerals and the nutrients, everything, and then he shares it to the team members with him, and allowing them to shine and blossom and bloom and glow, right? So imagine the top layer so there are the big trunks, and then the small stems, and then the smaller leaves, and all those things. So imagine the last layer of the people. All the time they are front facing, the customer facing, and they're like all the time bombarded with 10,000 questions about service, or irregularities and all those things. So similarly, if we relate over here, so the leaves are all the time bombarded with the pollution and carbon dioxide, and I'm just entering someone else. Okay, so it's bombarded with carbon dioxide and pollution and dust and whatnot. So, and in return, they have to give back oxygen. So we expect the same thing, right? Whatever the customer says, you be polite to them, you do that. So I think so. When the roots, when the leader acts to the roots with capturing all the minerals, and then instead of pushing from the top down, he's gently handing over to the top, and they in turn handing over to the top, and they in turn are handing over to the top. So I think this is what I signify as leaders, as the roots, and therefore transforming and be a catalyst and allowing everyone to shine and yeah, glow and maximize.
That's a wonderful metaphor of all the metaphors you've been saying. Like, yeah, when you talk about leave being humble and everything, that's great. It just stuck onto my mind now. Another thing is about this, the upside down of the entire organizational structure, where the seed and the root becomes the leader who is giving that energy slowly without even involving a lot, being always in the behind scenes and telling, do this, do that, portraying all the qualities. Wonderfully put, sir. It's a great metaphor and understanding towards the chart you have explained right now. In the concept of it, yes,
And
sir.
Divya here, and bad route
Yeah,
collapses the day.
so true.
Bad leader collapses the organization. Yeah.
That's the example, right? So it's simple. You put a seed and you make it right, it works out really well. Otherwise, it's not going to be really great. A rotten root is a rotten tree, I believe. Great. So, moving on to the next question. Now we know that root is one thing which will help all the leaves. The leaves, even in the tip of the leaf, is going to be given as an energy from the root itself. Likewise, how do the leader broaden their scope to ensure that the leadership qualities or any sort of initiatives or any sort of ideologies is being passed on to the community or to the other subordinates or team members accordingly? Like, in simple words, how a leader can expand his branch.
Okay. So, okay, let me tell you how what we are doing so that you can, all of us can connect with their own respective organizations. Okay. So, with the trees as the base, with forests, urban forests, what we're creating as the base, we want to involve and engage all the people uh, to our place, right? So, first circle of engagement happens around the forest where we create. We go to all the tea shop vendors over there and ask them, give us all your tea dust to us. Our trees love your tea dust. So use tea dust. Okay. We go to all the coconut shell vendors and ask them, after drinking the nariyal pani tender coconut, they throw off the shells. It goes to the landfill, it goes to the trash and suffocates all the drains. So we pick it up and use it for a mulch. Similarly, the all the local eateries over there, tattakadais, pottakadais over there, we ask them to give all the eggshells and we use it as a mulch over there. So until then, what they thought of trashing and wasting and not my responsibility, here they get connected with our place, and they didn't even know that they could create such magical transformations to the soil and to the place and the environment itself. So our whole idea is to just not plant trees. Planting trees is just a medium. We want to create social spaces involving everyone and engaging everyone. Just like an organization, we have to engage everyone. So how do we engage this is, suppose if you are a photographer, we ask you to come take photographs time to time and create a time lapse at the end of 3 years. If you're interested in video, come and take videos. If you're interested in technology and robotics, come and place cameras at a butterfly pupa and show to the world how the pupa person flies off, or keep the camera in a non-intrusive way at a bird's nest and show to the world how in 14 days the birds fly off. And then after that, the mothers and the father come and see the empty bird, and it's called the empty nest syndrome. I don't know how many of you are aware of that. So the pain and the anguish the parents go through, right? So they can show to the world about this. So if you're interested in DIY crafts, you can make wind chimes and dream catchers and hang it. If you're interested in singing, generally you sing for an audience. Here we want you to come and sing for the leaves and the trees, flowers and the birds, squirrels and the butterflies. If you're good in dancing, we want you to come to our forest and make kacha badam, paka badam reels at our place, right? So if you're interested in yoga and meditation, you can come and do yoga and meditation. If you're interested in writing poetry, come and write poetries. If you're interested in bodybuilding, come and do push-ups and push-ups at our place. So the place is the world for everyone, right? Similarly, our organization also has different profiles of people, different genders now, and we have to be inclusive. And that person, that interest, we have to allow them to try, give them opportunities of that. So therefore, I think so we could keep our place engaged, keep all our team connected and close, and
So,
therefore build better organization and better community together.
so true. I mean, what I see from your message is it's not always what you portray, but a leader has to identify what you're good at and seed on to that and make you better in what you are already. Like you were mentioning, it's not only from the organization. Maybe you can just find out their own interest and pass on that interest sort of to everybody.
Correct. So if I ask people to come and dig the stones, remove the stones, and carry heavy weight, everyone not interested in that. So you are a technology guy, so do the tech stuff. If you like to come and do a fashion walk and show off that, you come and do that within the trees. Okay. You want to come and sing songs. Okay, fine, come and sing songs. So everyone can create awareness. Everyone can create an impact in their own ways. So
So
that.
true. So that's what I mean. I mean, you are part of telling that one person does not have one single skill, but identify as a leader what skill you have and enhance it, like how branches do to their leaves and root do their to their branches, I believe. Wonderfully put, sir. Like who thinks of this? Who can think of these aspects? I don't think any normal person who builds a pot outside their house cannot be thinking of all this. In one way, it's a great metaphor. I look upon you in different aspects when you connect the leadership and the trees aspect. In the same way, how leaders can initiate, they have initiated and address a certain amount of, we have culture change, we have a lot of changes always coming here and there. How do they address the concern by inspiring others as well among the teams, and give them actionable steps or take the actionable steps which will not destroy the environment? Even though one plant is not doing well, we will not disturb the other plant. Likewise, how a leader can do that without spoiling the environment or sustain the environment? How do you suggest to do that, sir? Like how we do it for the plants?
I think, first of all, the leader has to lead the example. For example, some small things which you can do is not coming in too many dresses every day, one for 365 days. I've met so many of the leaders, and they say that I don't wear repeated or things like that. So if it can be just one t-shirt or two t-shirts, it shows about sustainability, and I know, and I can easily connect with the housekeeping person or anything like that. So I don't bring that distance, if I'm too, yeah.
Close to the same culture sort of a people.
Yeah, so it's about that. So I think so he has to lead by example, or she has to lead by example. They can small things which they can bring about change or bring about sustainable development or connect with the team is, every month probably they can take a pledge. For example, from this month onwards, all of us will stop, for example, stop using loofah that made of plastic. Okay,
Plastic, right?
plays with that. Okay, from next month, all of us will stop using plastic earbuds. I use it for 30 seconds, but it remains on the planet for 300 years. So I'll stop using that. So next month, whenever I order in Zomato or Swiggy, they also send plastic things. So there is also note instructions there. Give instructions that no, I don't need cutlery. So if every month all of us can take a pledge, that could be great. For example, while he or she can always carry a cloth bag, so that when the leader is carrying, all the teammates are also realizing and understanding. Next time they become conscious, hey, boss or manager is carrying that, so we also got to be a little bit conscious and careful about that. So he can bring their own whenever they go for a drive or outing something, ensuring that they don't buy plastic bottles. So whenever you eat, ensuring that you eat every grain, a morsel, and you don't leave anything extra or waste. So when you do that, your team members are around you, and not only you doing it, you should also tell gently that about how it could impact others, and why we have to be doing that. If he or she can do this and lead by example, I think that could be uh, small but huge transformation. I think small is a big differentiator now.
So true, so true. I mean, when I decode your language, you're saying it's more of, be an example, be a pace setter, understand and show in such a way that people can follow you across.
Correct.
Today I learned of something which I'd like to share. We all know Nirmala Sitharaman, who is a finance minister in our country, and she got her child married very recently, right? Her daughter. So she did not call anybody at all. She just made a small reception in some sort of a hotel, and not more than 150 people had joined. Now, if she won, she would have called Narendra Modi itself, but she didn't. I mean, I would have done that. I would have called Narendra Modi. come for my daughter's wedding because I am your finance minister. And that's where I learned some humbleness, some simpleness. Be an example for the person to show what you want to be. You don't have to be always talking and saying and shouting at things. Doing makes a lot of difference. And that's what you also enforce today. Being a leader, according to you, also connecting with the trees. Be humble, simple, be a person who can do and showcase and be among everybody. Let's not make it as a wannabe or something. It's lovely talking to you, sir. I am inspired about your humbleness and simplicity. I felt very bad today because I went to an IT sector and I felt very out of place today. I've been working in IT for 17 years. After a long time, I went in there. I felt myself being very simple and humble. People were all dressed among with, great brands. All I see is Nike, Adidas, and whatnot. There are things I felt very set back. I was like, okay, fine, I'm not part of this world anymore. So today I realized when you said you have to make the other person feel that they are part of your community. You cannot just leave them alone. Today I felt that very much, and I could so much resonate on what you're saying. People do feel that. I felt that today. Like even after coming from the same background, I felt like, where am I? What am I doing with all the small things, with the kumkum on my head and all? So I mean, yeah, thank you very much for this humble conversation. Simplicity is what you carry, I believe. And congratulations and appreciate and all the best for all the good doings you're doing for the environment, sir. Please make us a part of all this. We'll be loved to be a part of all this. Thank you very much for our session today. I hope the members enjoyed it. I'm going to hand over the mic to our moderator, Pankaj. Thanks patiently waiting for me to finish that, Pankaj. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Divya. Thank you so much. And even what I can sense is, Mr. Hafiz is the synonym to simplicity, right?
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, the way you have shared about this particular topic, and really, as what Divya told, that we all take plants and the nature for granted, sir. But somewhere that is what is the most important thing for us in life. And
Correct.
as given by you certain things, I will also ensure to practice. I was really, I mean, amazed to know about it that we use this earbud for 30 seconds, but that remains for 300 years on the planet. I will ensure that going forward, I'm not going to use that plastic bud anymore for sure. Really, I mean, these are the small things which, and that is what I'm going to share it with my son also, so that even he can go and talk to his friends. So if at the age of 42 I'm getting this fact, why can't I give this fact to my 10 years old son who can spread it over to his friends, right? So this is my takeaway today, sir, that wherever possible I'll try and minimize the plastic to a certain extent, which will help our kids to have a better planet, right? So thank you for that. So as I think that if I've been able to take away something, for sure the others would have taken out something. So here I would like to invite our quiz leader, Miss Rashmi. I believe she might be ready with quiz question for our visitors today. So over to you, Miss Rashmi, to conduct the quiz for this. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, Divya. Hi, Hafiz sir. How are you?
Very well, happy.
Just a very simple question that goes in the chat box. What metaphors can leaders draw from trees and get inspired while they lead their team? Which of these statements aren't true? Never give up, be flexible, adaptable, move up the hierarchy gently and gracefully, stay grounded and humble and modest, share your knowledge with team members. Leaders should hold back to their position, I'm sorry, give a safe space to team members, never to be in a hurry, be calm and patient. Which of the statement isn't true? Which of the statement isn't true?
Isn't true. Okay.
Isn't true. Which of these
Good
statements
catch.
isn't true?
So who's the winner? I believe Ms. Vasanti has answered.
Yes.
Mr. Anil Goswami has
Vasanti.
answered. So, Miss Rashmi, you need to choose the winner.
Okay, Dr. Vasanti was the first one to say the answer. That is the fifth one. So, congratulations, Dr. Vasanti.
Thank you, ma'am. A lovely session, Hafiz sir. It was I am a nature lover and I travel a lot, so I have been resonating a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Vasanti. Thank you for answering this question quickly. So we shall plant a tree in your name, and we shall send you the certificate of ownership very shortly in a week's time.
Oh, thank you, sir. I would like to be in that place because I generally travel around the world and in India wherever possible. So if I am there, I would be most honored to.
Sure.
Great, great. Congratulations, Vasanti madam.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Congratulations, Vasanti. I join you if you go sometime. Please put me in the list there.
Yeah, sure.
So, Ms. Vasanti, if you would like to ask any question to our guest, you can. So that's an extra privilege you have as a winner.
He has been, overwhelming, and I think the questions were asked very well, and it was answered also very beautifully.
Right.
What I find is, why is, the environment still depreciating? Why aren't people realizing the fact? Though there are so much of awareness, though there is so much of programs being done, why isn't there still more trees planted or still more nature awareness? The government has to do something, or the individual has to do. Where has to be the point of start?
Okay. Uh, is this question for me?
Yes, sir, Hafiz sir.
Okay. So they say that in Tamil there's a beautiful word called Kudumbam Oru Palgalaikalagam. It's not about the school and the college and anyone else. It's about the family, which is a university. Okay, I think so. Most of the value systems which we had earlier are being slightly diluted, and we are getting aligned with commercializations and material things. So the emotional things and the subjective things are moving away from us. So that could possibly be one of the biggest reasons, which I feel. And it's not about the governments and organizations. It's about me and you and all of us, which we can bring about change.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Exactly.
so much.
If I can take responsibility of my street, then my street is going to become beautiful. So similarly, if each individuals can take, uh, for example, we have 17 members here. If 17 people can take 17 streets, along with all the children in our streets, along with all the neighbors, I think it's going to be a beautiful example as well.
Thank you. I have planted some in my home. I have an individual home, so the home part is done, but I think I should
Yes, now
start
it's
going
time for you
out.
to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you. So I believe Mr. Anil Goswami want to ask a question. Anil sir, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Anil.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Hafiz. Wonderful talk. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
So my question is, so we want to develop more and more. Everybody earlier, they were not even able to afford one AC. Now they are having three ACs, even four ACs in their homes, 2 to 3 cars. So the environment, dehydration is going on. Degradation is constantly going on. So we are trying to grow trees also, but on the other way, deforestation is going on. So what we should do, what message we should do to the public? So because AQ level you every day, especially in Delhi and Gurgaon, every day now the construction is also stopped very on and off. So and our lungs, what it used to be earlier pink lungs, now all of us have black lungs. When the doctor they operate us, they say earlier we used to call pink lungs, now we have black lungs. So in this regard, how would you help to these trees growing and other things?
I personally feel or see the future is going to be exciting and very interesting. The people of our age group all have messed up, and the decision makers and the leaders of yesterday probably have not been taken sustainable decisions or created, work towards sustainability. Today's times are changing, and today's bureaucracy, wherever we get to interact and wherever we get to see, are extremely positive and aspiring. So I think so. with a lot of regulations coming in place, there could be definitely a better future for all of us.
Okay, so I hope Anil sir, he has answered
Thank
your
you.
question.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very wonderful answer. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. So, do we have anyone else to ask the question, or we move forward? So, if anyone has any question, please feel free to ask, or else we move forward. So, here I would like to. Okay, Giri sir, you want to ask a question? I can unmute yourself, sir, and ask the question, please. Arul, can you help Giri to unmute? Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yeah, very
yes.
much.
Thank you, Hafiz Khan, sir. Really, the awesome session. The root, when the root is rotten, everything will be rotten. Like that, the one of the key takeaway already Divya explained more also, and you also explained. But one thing is, the leadership is by lead by examples. Since I am the first generation entrepreneur, I am in the creation of 5 elements as a habits and then verticals. So how can I be a leader for this lead by example? Because I have selected very big, very vast subject. First, I started with my water element. Now I am moving to energy, space, like that. It's consuming more things. People also commenting me that you are doing more multitasks. But I am in the passion of doing all these things. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so every individual is capable of doing multiple things, and if you are multi-talented, and if you're good in sales, if you're good in creativity and design, if you're good in business, and if you're good in everything, I think that itself is beautiful. And when you say lead by example, uh, in connection with you, if you have the potential to do something, you have to do it much. For example, if you know mathematics, for a student, for a child of us, if a child can do good mathematics, it is his or her responsibility that he teaches to someone else the mathematics. Okay, if I know how to earn money, I should earn as much as money possible, so that I can support people, I can give job opportunities to people, I can empower so many other people. For example, in our forest, urban forest, 80% of the gardeners are women who are 45 years and above. So we are very clear that we will be giving job opportunities only to 45 years and above women, because that is the kind of age profile wherein their daughters or sons are teenage, they're starting school, or they're getting married and they need the support. So whatever you're doing at this point of time, and if people are inspired by that and they say, wow, very good, then you're in the right place.
Sir, sir, can I
Yeah.
please repeat?
Yes, Giri, go ahead.
No, something you asked me.
No, I think so. You're in the right place. I think so. I see a lot of awards and rewards on your backdrop as well. So keep
Yes.
shining wherever you are.
Yeah. Since after my finishing my diploma in chemical technology, I never went to higher studies. But I am in the so many forums, and now I am doing after corporate trainer. The only the learning, the 20% of the learning, helping me to elevate 80%. Thank you,
Correct.
sir.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much. So I believe we can have one more question, and I'm happy to see Mr. Devarayan. So Devarayan sir, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thanks, Pankaj. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to.
Happy to see you, sir. Happy to see
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I mean, I saw you last time also, but interacting with you after so many weeks rather.
Thanks a lot, Pankaj. Yeah, I think it's nice to hear Hafiz Khan and his passion and the way he answered. Divya have conducted the session. It was very nice actually. Actually, like as Mr. Hafiz Khan said that there are some statutory things which is coming up, and it is very good. And we can able to foresee some good things will happen around us. But at the same time, maybe I only request people like Hafiz Khan who are there in this particular field to encourage the government to enforce this, because the laws are there. The enforcement is not so strict, right? Like maybe yes, the law is available, but the enforcement has to be more stricter, so that the people will follow. See, like there is a rule of wearing helmet, but if only the enforcement is there, people will start wearing it. As if nobody enforced to do it, so people will be free to ride the vehicle without a helmet. So similarly, there is a statutory thing, and I request people like Hafiz Khan, who has some influence on the forest and other stuff, to make to request the government to enforce it with the corporates and big companies, and also the individuals. And I think you are doing a very great job, Mr. Hafiz Khan, like so that my kids or our kids who are sitting here can breathe a fresh air. So what we were used to in our childhood, right? Nowadays there are a lot of afforestation and deforestation. So like our kids will have a good air to breathe. Thanks for the work what you are doing, Mr. Hafiz Khan.
Thanks so much, Mr. Devarayan. Talking about what is the actions is being taken and trying to reinforce, generally, until recent times, even now for that matter, when people just can come and cut off the trees, it is disturbing my gate, it is disturbing my house, it is disturbing my parking place, and all those things. The Supreme Court has given a verdict that if you have to cut off, there was no value so many days. What is the value of a tree? So only now the Supreme Court has given the value per tree is like 74,000 and odd rupees. So every time someone cuts a tree, we can claim that money and plant saplings or trees equivalent to that in the neighboring places. So now that I've told you, so if someone are cutting near you, please call us. Please invest.
Good one.
I think that's a great thing, Hafiz Khan. Like we the awareness, right? Like I don't know how many people in the forum will know about this particular fact that if somebody cuts the tree, they will be penalized or they have to pay 74,000 and they have to plant. So this kind of awareness, right? This has to come to the people. And people can ask, "Hey, why are you cutting the tree?" So there is an order. So you have to pay this, and you have to plant a tree equivalent to that in say, somewhere wherever it is possible. So that kind of awareness has to come. So that enforcement has to come in a very larger way. So I wish it will come, and our kids will have a great future.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Devraj. Thank you so much. So here I will invite our summary leader, Mr. Senthil, because I believe we are almost reaching to our time. That's 7:30. So Senthil sir, over to you. Senthil, I mean our summary leader, as always.
Yeah,
Over to you, sir.
yeah. Thank you, Pankaj, and thank you, Divya, and thank you, sir, Havi sir. Today, I was able to see you as a forest man, as a mirroring the vision of Abdul Kalam, who said that one Indian should plant at least 5 trees. So today, the 17 community members, 17 into 5, 85 trees is the vision what we need to plant
Good one.
in the urban forest. Yeah. So without taking much time, let me jump directly to the today's takeaway session. So first topic, what we discussed was how can a leader emulate principle and balancing interconnection. So we said that every human being is unique in terms of his fingerprint. Even the twins are unique in terms of their fingerprint. The same as like the trees also are unique. Each tree, when it is getting chopped and facing a setback situation like a human being, it never gives up. Instead, it bounces back with the resilience approach to emerge and sideways. Similarly, when you throw stone, it gives us the fruit. And when you inhale a cigar and exhale its smoke, still the tree with the resilience mindset comes up with a fragrant smell for us, with a lot of oxygen to inhale. Same way, we should be a mindset of giving back to our team members and our colleagues to ensure in all setback situation, they are ready to bounce back and face the challenges. And next is a tree wilt that leaves and shed its leaves to rebounds back to make it more fresher. So the same is resonating with the metaphor of letting go of its old time and let go of its new time into the branch of a new tree, which emerges out when the humble, modest situation. Same as like the reader should be more humble, modest, and hard to listen. Like leaders, they're carrying that rather than carrying the title. Next is how is the tree stands uh, rooted to the rooted. So here we were talking about the saplings of a seed which is being sowed in the soil in a vulnerable situation. It invites a vulnerable situation to emerge out and come with a new sapling tree. Same as like the reader should be deeply grounded to ensure that they face the vulnerable situation to come back with their more with more grounded. Next is when we talk about the leadership style in an organization, leader as such should be like a catalyst, enabler, transformer, as well as more of a giving mindset approach with more humble and grounded. Next is the ways of a leader, how they broaden the scope to ensure the leadership traits. Here we spoke about the creating a social space. Same like how the camera helps us in shooting the transformation happening in the pupa to a caterpillar, or same like how the birds facing its 14 days of emergency situation to transform its chicks. The same like that, we need to face every challenging situation. Next, coming to the leaders, how they spread initiatives, spearhead initiatives. Here we spoke about the leader should lead by example. By here you set three simple way of simplicity. One is in the dress code, rather than using 365 dresses for in a year, try to limit ourselves. Next is in terms of simplicity, how we can avoid plastics. And third is in terms of simplicity, how we never waste food and ensure that we consume even a grain of food. So these were some of the key takeaway what I have for today's session. I'm really proud to see you that your vision resembles the resonates with the Abdul Kalam's vision of planting the trees. In India, we were having Vivek, who was doing this in a very long way in India. The same way I'm seeing you as another person, sir. I think your voice is not here. Voice.
Sir, you're muted. Hafiz here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sendil.
Yeah.
You're comparing me with two big names.
No, but it resonates here on the welcome video. What I was seeing, the 10 acres land is fully filled with the forest tree, which is converted into a forest, like urban forest. I think this is Siriseri, right?
Yes, that is, we have so far created 78 forests. We have covered 1,000 acres of land parcel. We have planted as on 2023 ended 1.1 million trees.
Wow, really proud of you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sendil sir. So without taking much of time, I would like to invite Mr. Nellai for the vote of thanks. And then Mr. Arul, you can take over for the networking. So Mr. Nellai here for the vote of thanks. So before vote of thanks, I would also like to thank once again Mr. Hafiz. And I would like to be in touch with you going forward, right?
Definitely,
So
Pankaj. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much, sir. Nellai sir, over to you.
Good evening, one and all. Thanks to Bija Training for this opportunity. Dear Mr. Hafiz Khan, sir, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude as we come to the close of the truly enlightening session. And it has been an enriching experience. And I am honored to express our collective thanks to you, sir. And I love your points on the lead by good example and as well as the deeply grounded and be humble. So I take it for adaptation from today onwards. Thank you for your inspiring us with your knowledge and insights. Before me sharing about the next week episode, let me quickly share again the purpose of this community. For the visitors who are attending this first time, Leaders Connect 360 is a hybrid model leadership community where every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate company, to suggest some solutions for our real-time leadership challenges. like the experience what we have did today from our guest, Mr. Hafiz Khan sir. Kindly follow our social media platforms to get updated. It's very simple to join our community. To click on the social media links, it gives me immense pleasure to thank our guest, Mr. Hafiz Khan sir, and panel discussion leader, Ms. Divya ma'am, for spending your valuable time in sharing your experiences and insights. Um,
Thank you so much, Nilay sir. Thank you so much. So, Arul, can you play the thanking video? And then visitors, you can stay back for the networking session. Officer, thank you so much once again. Arul, please play the thanking video. Thank you so much, Arul, for the video. So, officer, if you would like to add any final, tip to all of us, or you want to address something, last thing, would like to hear from you.
Okay, now from coming from February, the month of falling in love and being more intense. So we are starting off with the leaders coming to our forest. We are inviting 10
Wow.
leaders every month. So in case if you would like to facilitate the whole program, we'd be happy to connect there. That is one thing. And thank you all the happy people over here for gracing my session and making me more intense about the project and the work we do. And third is, uh, what is your leadership metaphor? I leave with this thought to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Arul, please be in touch with them for understanding of what is going to happen from February. So, if we can, collaborate and do something better. So,
Sure.
let's see how we can, help in not help, rather collaborate in this initiative. So, Mr. Arul will be in touch with you, sir, on this, and let's see how we can do. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hafiz. Thank you.
Over to you, Arul.
Just a minute. Let's stop the record.